Hey traders, Shane from Gen 2 Futures and FX. What I'm going to do is take you through a review of system SN380 on our gold futures. So this is a strategy that we've been trading for a while now, and we're reviewing it because it's hit its circuit breaker. But what I want to do firstly is go through some of the key performance stats, and then we're going to go in and review this system. So just a summary of what's happened with this strategy. It's got a total net profit since January of 19,000. The average trade net profit currently sits at 106.40, so that's really good. The last 7 weeks have produced a profit of about 6,500 as far as overall profit. But the issue here is that we've hit our circuit breaker. This system's actually dropped below its max drawdown. So we're going to go in now and have a look at the overall system and look at what we need to do as far as our steps going forward to review this strategy and potentially track it going forward. And so look at the process we undertake in reviewing our system and obviously turning our systems on and off. At some point in time, doesn't matter what strategy you're trading, a system will hit its maximum circuit breaker, or its max drawdown. You need to really have a process in place to be able to manage that. We'll be taking you through the process that we go through in managing our systems when they hit there. So gold SN380, this has been running really well. This has been one of our better performing systems, but so in the last week though, it's had a bit of a drawdown. Now I've just rolled back the data for a week just to show you exactly what's happened. So basically we've got our system here, it's tracking nicely. You can see the max drawdown on this strategy is 1490. So what that means that is if our system has a drawdown of greater than 1490, we're going to turn the strategy off. So you can see here it does have these peak to valley dips, but 1490 is about the most we want to risk on this strategy. And what I've done is I've uploaded or put on this chart our A tracker. Now our A tracker, we have two indicators that track our performance on our systems. They are our A and B tracker. Now a B tracker tracks the days of the week longs and shorts. The A tracker will track the overall system performance, and it's called on this tracker, it's called L1, which is level 1, and level 1 is tracking the entire system. Now it's got L1 pilot, so whatever you load this A tracker onto, it's going to track. Obviously this is a high performance system, so this is actually our high performance strategy, and you'll see that here the current drawdown on this system is $650. So we're nowhere near that negative 1450, which is basically what our max drawdown is. So we'll go back here, negative 1490. So around about $1,500 would be our circuit breaker, our cutoff switch. So let's have a look at how we did this week, because remember this is last week's data. You can see the returns been very strong. This system has been running really well. So I'm going to roll this strategy forward a week, which is last week's trading. So we'll bring in the first week of June and see what happens. And you'll see straight away that the first week of trading in June is not great. And this is going to happen with all our systems, because remember we've locked in a lot of profit on this strategy. In the last 7 weeks, we've actually put in about almost $8,000. So at some point the system's going to turn off. Well, it's happened. So its drawdown for the week of the 1st to the 6th is $1,410, but it's the overall portfolio drawdown that we have to look at. Now you can see it's gone from green to red, so that means that it's hit its max drawdown. So its max drawdown or current drawdown at the moment is 1710. Now remember that our maximum drawdown on this strategy was 1500 or 1490. So basically this system is now off. So SN380 is now off. So what do we need to do next? What's our next step for managing this strategy? Well, our next step is to, firstly, we need to go through save our data, put it into our DLS, our optimizer, and see which days of the week, longs and shorts, we should be continuing to trade. Because at the moment, we're trading, let's have a look at what we're trading on this system. If we go under the strategy, we're trading on the long side. So we'll go under the longs, go to the days of the week, and we're trading Thursday, Friday on the long side. So only 2 days on the long side. On the short side, we are trading, I think, pretty much every day on the short side. Let's double check that. No, we're trading Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so we're not trading Thursday, Friday on the short side. So we need to go in and make some decisions based on, all right, well, the system's off, but we still need to track the performance, and we only want to be tracking the most profitable days of the week. So we want to keep monitoring what days we're going to continue to track, and that might mean that we drop a couple of days off or add a couple of days. So we need to go in and do that assessment based on our DLS and based on our system performance tracker. So that's step one. Step two for this process is obviously we need to decide, right, well, if we've got a drawdown of 1710, at what point do we turn the system back on? Do we need for it to trade back above negative 1490 to turn back on? If that's the case, that's pretty simple. As soon as we have a couple of profitable trades, we're turning the system back on. Or does it need to have a value or a bounce value? So this is something you need to decide as one of the GMT traders. You need to decide, how are you getting back in? Are you waiting for a value of a bounce, or is it just have to go back above that circuit breaker value at 1490? The other thing we need to work out is what system is replacing SN380. Do we have to replace it with something, or are we just going back to, say, two systems or one system? So you need to decide within your portfolio what system is replacing it. Now, there's a number of strategies that we could easily replace SN380 with. So it's just a matter of picking one of those systems. And remember, the systems that you download from the system register, the ones that are available, you need to put your stamp or you need to put your personal touch on those systems. So you need to go in and customize them to suit your specific trading style. Okay, traders, so SN380, we'll do a quick review of the steps that I've gone through. Step one was to review the system's daily profit and loss. We spoke about that. That was really looking at your circuit breaker. Now, I'm using the decision tracking sheet, which we have available in Dropbox. I'm also using the PME, which is our Portfolio Manager Elite spreadsheet, to track my system weekly, which is step 3. But on a daily basis, I'm using the A tracker and the decision tracking sheet just to make sure I know where my circuit breaker is. So for example, if I look at my system, I can quickly, and I'll just bring this strategy up here. So if I look at my system, SN380, my A tracker allows me to see what the current drawdown is. So that L1 current drawdown, that's my current drawdown in my system. Now I'm tracking those results as well in my decision tracking spreadsheet, which I'll just show here as well in my decision tracking spreadsheet. So I've SN380, I know what my max drawdown is, I know what my daily drawdown is. That's getting logged every day. So every day that so traders, even though I had a really good week last week, I've still had losses during the week, and I'm tracking those in my daily tracking sheet. And if I go to my A tracker, that shows me exactly what my current drawdown is based on my equity high and my current drawdown. So I need to know what that value is, because I need to be able to turn my system off when I hit my max drawdown. So it's critical that I've got all those elements in place, so I'm tracking my systems correctly. So step 2 is to review the system weekly using the DLS. Now, obviously, if we turn the system off, we need to make sure that we're tracking going forward the right days of the week, longs and shorts. So that's going to be step 2. Step 3 is we want to keep our data entered into our PME, so we've got a historical performance of our system. And then our fourth step there is to decide what's going to be our bounce value to turn our system back on. So that's just a very quick review of those steps that we went through. Now the next things we need to decide is, all right, well, the next questions we need to ask ourselves is managing risk. So the first question is, did your current tracking process identify the system was due to turn off? So what were you using, and did you pick that circuit breaker up? Am I using a daily tracking sheet with my A tracker? What's your process? Are you using the PME? The next question is, what system have you chosen, if any, to replace SN380? Then obviously, what's your new drawdown? Once you put a new system in, you're going to have a new drawdown value for your portfolio. So you need to decide, work out exactly what that is, and does that affect your delta? Remember, your rate of increase for your contracts or your next system, that's going to be affected by any new system that you add in. And has that overall changed your daily risk? So there's some of the questions as traders we need to kind of find out and ask ourselves. And the other thing we need to do in reviewing our system, we need to we need to review our performance, don't we? So what caused the system to hit its circuit breaker? What was the underlying thing that caused it? Was it multiple things? Was it one thing? Was it volatility? Was it the range was tightening up? Was it a directional bias that caused the system to hit its circuit breaker? Was it our optimization? Were we tracking the days of the week or not tracking the days of the week well enough to see that one of the days was really losing a lot of money and affecting the overall portfolio? So we need to go back and ask and review these questions, because this is how we're going to get better at managing our systems. Because it might be that the system just hit its circuit breaker, that's it. And it could be a volatility issue, it could be range. We need to look at our daily charts, obviously, to make some decisions there. So is there an opportunity at a higher tick time or range volume chart that we can explore? So that's what we refer to as laddering up or laddering down. If your system turns off, is there an opportunity somewhere else on that same market using the same settings of that system to maybe get some profit out of a slightly different higher time frame tick chart, range chart, or a volume chart? Now, the final thing we need to work out is, okay, what are our observations? What did we conclude based, or what were our initial observations? And these need to be based on statistical analysis. And then what are our recommendations? So if you're reviewing your performance, you want to make sure that any observations you make are based on statistical analysis. The other thing you want to do is make sure that the recommendations you put forward, you want to put forward recommendations based on your observations. So that's the process we're going to go through with reviewing SN380. This is part one, obviously, of the process we're going through. So we're going to be releasing a couple more videos on this step by step. So at this stage, the system is turned off, SN380. It's not the end of the world. Every system's going to turn off. We've just got to prepare ourselves for that. And then we need to have contingencies in place to take advantage of the trading opportunities that are out there. So while SN380 has produced really good profit and given us good profit, we now need to look where we now need to add in a secondary system. So we're going to go through that process as well. So thank you for your time. We'll look forward to catching on. So I look forward to catching you in part two. Cheers. Thanks for joining us today, traders. If you'd like to become part of our team in 2014, all you need to do is contact either myself or Luke at info@gmtfutures.com, and we can get you started pretty much straight away. So if you've always wanted to become a professional trader and you want to start using a high performance automated system, then definitely send us an email, info@gmtfutures.com or shane@gmtfutures.com, or you can either give us a call at 61733600875 and we can get you started straight away. So any questions, feel free to send them through. Otherwise, have a fantastic day, and I look forward to catching you on the next update. Cheers.